Okay, you have to let us know what you think about this next story. There's a brand new cell phone service on the market as of this week, and it's aimed at keeping controversial content off your phone and out of the hands of your kids. The company is called Radiant Mobile, and it's a Jesus-centric cell phone network that vows to block any pornographic and LGBTQ content. The makers say there's a pornography problem within Christianity, and they want to fix it. Joining me now, I have the COO and CEO for Radiant Mobile, Kilmis, and Paul Fischer. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. Thanks for your time.
Good morning.
Such a pleasure to be here.
So,
good morning.
Chris, let me just start with you, because I know you're an Orlando minister. You have 6 kids. You've said you got involved to offer Christians a real way to do something about what you see as a pornography crisis in the faith. 2/3 of pastors have come forward and said they have a personal history with pornography.
Yes, it's been something that it's not often talked about in the church. And we just believe there's got to be a practical solution to a spiritual problem with lust. And without putting any condemnation or judgment on anybody, we want to have something that offers something practical to them, Markie.
Paul, you spent over, 30 years as a fashion talent agent representing supermodels. What in the world made you want to pivot to building a Christian phone network, and why do you think it's necessary?
I have a 2-year-old daughter named Pelea. I have a 5-year-old son named Landon. And about a year and a half ago, when my son kept asking me for my cell phone, and it freaked me out, Markie, I got real nervous because I understood that he could go down rabbit holes that I could not control. And I wanted to be a part of creating safeguards of what my son could see and could not see. So that's where it was born out of, to protect my son and to protect other young people all over the country against something that I think the control of what our kids view should be in the hands of the parents, not the government, not media companies, not telecommunications companies.
I think all of us parents want to protect our kids as best as possible. Chris, tell me about how exactly your cell phone service works and just the feedback that you've received this week after its launch.
Yeah, we're the first to be able to block inappropriate content, 9 different hard block categories, 7 for parents, 9 for kids, at the network level. It's something that's never happened before. And all that means for your listeners is before it gets to your device. And like Paul said, we want to put the power of parental choice back in the home for categories within those 9. There's hard blocked ones like pornography, but there's other ones that can be selected on and off by the parent, putting the choice in the parent's hands.
You know what question I'm going to ask next? You know, many would say that Jesus sat with the marginalized and the outcast and those excluded by society. I'm curious how you square excluding LGBTQ content with biblical teachings of love thy neighbor. I'd love to hear from both of you on that. Paul, if you want to start first.
Sure. We and we're going to continue to harp on this, the fact that we think that any discussion about sexuality, anything about gender, should be in the hands of the parents, not in the hands of the government, not in the hands of media companies, not in telecommunications companies. And we have a strong belief in that. So what we've done is that we're not anti-LGBT, we're not anti-trans. We just think that those decisions should be in the hands of the parents. And so we give the parents the tools to block that type of content or release that content to their kids and to themselves. So it's simple freedom of choice, and I think that's what America's built on. I think that's who we are. We're not hard blocking it like we are with pornography or self-harm or racism or anti-Semitism or harmful drugs. We're not hard blocking it. We're soft blocking it. We're just saying to the world, the community, not just the Christian community, but anybody who wants to join us in this movement, that you have the choice to block that content or release it to your kids or keep it unblocked. And I think I'm trying to figure out still what the controversy is. We think it's real common sense that the parent should have that right to block LGBT, block trans, or not block trans. Simple as that.
Chris, I'll give you the last word and just your pastoral response to that question.
Yeah, again, I have 6 children myself. Okay, I want to be able to determine when those conversations happen. And part of the journey has really been about the next generation and protecting them. When you look at the amount of kids that will see pornography in their teens, and then how much of that is inadvertent exposure, these are really the heart behind our why. And like Paul was saying, we just really want the conversation to be put in the timing of the parent's discretion. And so sitting with sinners is absolutely, we're here to wash people's feet. We want to help them. But if you have an alcohol problem, you don't move right next to a bar. And right now, especially in the churches in America, the stats are alarming. We have to find a practical solution. We are a part of that. We know that Jesus is the answer, but this is a practical solution. Practical.
Well, I know you've raised, what, $18 million so far. You're on T-Mobile's network. I mean, this is serious business. So, gentlemen, congrats on the launch this week. Thank you for your time on the show. Chris Kilmis, Paul Fischer, appreciate both of your time.
God bless you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.